Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your, well, mostly weekly, sometimes occasionally, Final Fantasy XIV podcast. At this point, I just like saying different things at the start, just because of the schedule being unpredictable. Apologies for last week. We had to work around a schedule, so a few schedules to make sure that the next few shows are all set, and so we had a week off. No big deal. We're back, and we're going to talk about the balance of Fizz range today, following up on our healer show that we did last time. For that, we're going to need some people to talk about it. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy, and one of your range physical experts for this show. Rare I get to be that, which means that a lot of the questions are going to be coming from my co-host, in that of Sly. Hi, Sly.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just shiny hunting Pokemon. Shiny.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Pokemon?
Yeah. And we like to have two experts on the show whenever we're talking about a specific role. And so our other expert we have brought on, who will probably deny being an expert knowing their humbleness, is a returning guest, and that of Stal. Hello, Stal.
Hi.
See, she's already
no.
She's already thinking it. She's like, oh no, he said expert. That's, oh no. Listen.
Wait, how did you know? Wasn't that obvious?
Yeah, it's you. You are the humble muffin of the show. I don't know why a muffin, but you know, I guess Lalafells and muffins are kind of the same shape. They're kind of close.
First potatoes, now muffins.
That's fine.
What next?
I don't know. Name another.
Pages.
What?
Wait,
Pages.
what?
No, not peaches. Definitely not peaches.
Nah.
Pages.
Peaches has too many other bodily associations for us to use it for Lalafell. Okay, Sly, we can't allow that. That can't happen.
I mean, they're that small, so
Stop. I'm gonna stop you right now, Sly.
Well,
before we get started, just a quick sponsor shout out. Thank you to Steelseries for sponsoring. There will be a giveaway in the YouTube link, a monthly giveaway. They've been having a lot of stock issues, so last month's winner still has not even gotten theirs. Yeah, they're still recovering from, well, the world being the way that it is and the holiday season that passed. So hopefully I'll be able to get those sent out soonish. But be sure to enter this month's in the description of the YouTube video. And also shout out to our sponsors over on Patreon. They don't get anything special. They just support the show. That's it. Right, Sly? That's it.
right.
Yes, exactly. Normally, he likes to say a couple of extra things. He goes, "We love you, Ivy." Don't look at me like that. You jumped into frame like that.
We do love you, by the way. Ivy loves you too.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
Yeah. See, look, this is her loving you. See this? This is her loving you. Ivy, stop. I gotta close the door. All right, there you go. Anyway, thank you to our sponsors. And now Ivy's going to be a menace the whole show. Are you going to be a menace? Or you or your brother going to be a menace? Okay, yeah, clean yourself. That's fine. All right. Anyway, today's show, we're going to be talking about the range physical role. So I feel like it would be best if everyone kind of spoke a little bit about their experience with the role. So everyone watching has an idea. I'm going to take that away from you. Don't look at me like that. And everyone talks about their experience with the role. And of course, one of our experts, Stal, should probably be the first one to tell everyone what their experience is with the role. Stal, you're the guest. You gotta do it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the strengths and weaknesses. Talk about a little bit of rating stuff. And yeah.
Yes. I've been playing.
Good talk. Moving on.
Good talk.
I've been playing Rage
Great talk.
since like maybe end of Heavensward. Not really too experienced in Heavensward range, but I don't think I've really been playing anything else but ranged. I mainly play Bard in progression, and I've been playing Bard since my first raid tier in Delta Escape, all the way till this tier. I forgot what it's called. The only exception is that I played Dancer in E8S. And it's because nobody wants to play ranged. That's why I keep playing ranged. Yeah. More so now.
She's not wrong. That's a very astute observation regarding the role.
All range mates seem to either swap roles or they quit the game. I'm not sure why. I wonder why.
Wow, those are like two very, very different extremes. Like,
You know the phrase "love it or hate it." This is play it or quit.
Yeah.
play it or quit.
Yep.
Now, Sly, you actually added a ton of notes with a lot of particular points to the show, so you came very prepared for this. So, what is your experience with the range physical role?
Machinist is fucking fun as shit. Holy fuck. Okay. All right. First off, like dungeon wise and raid wise, I mean, I did EXs on this shit. And it's fun as fuck. I wish it just were stronger. That's my only thing. And we'll get to that later. But normally under normal circumstances, like I don't do a PvP because it's just but even in PvP, that shit is fucking fun.
Good thing Burns not here, Sly. He would already be out.
I know. He'd already have a cigarette in hand and like already taken like 5 drags. But even in PvP, it's just so fun. Like it's like I don't know how else to fucking describe it. And when I was going through deciding what roles to level just for the role quest and whatnot, I was like, let me do Bard. I'm like, man, I just wanna brain dead shoot shit.
That's Machinist.
That's Machinist. I mean, Machinist is I wouldn't say it's a brain dead class. I mean, there are some things. There are a few cons with it. I mean, if you hyper at the wrong time, you'll kind of drift and shit. And it does require a certain amount of skill, but even still, it's still fun. It's just still such a fun fucking class.
What's your experience? Machinist is fun.
I mean, I prefer it over the busy work of Bard. If anything,
Bard's a lot of busy work. You're not wrong.
It's a lot of fucking busy work.
It is a lot of busy work. Yeah, and
I'm like playing all these fucking songs.
I mean, to be fair, I hope you're not. I mean, it's just pressing them all immediately because that that will reduce your busy work, but maybe not in the way you wanted it to.
Nope.
And
I was like, I just chose Machinist, and it's been fun. Yeah, that's
my experience is much more tumultuous than both of yours because I have a love-hate relationship with the role. Not a play-quit relationship, but a love-hate relationship. Because I came into 2.0 wanting to play Monk, but I had gear left over from 1.0 that for Bard, not Monk. So going right into the raids, I just went with what I had gear. Stuck on that until Ninja came out because then I had aiming accessories to use, so it was an easy transition. And then I got promised I could play Monk in 3.2, and then they asked me to play Machinist because they recruited not 1, but 2 monks to the static. Double Monk Machinist was my life for 3.2 and 3.4. And then I swore the roll off for like a whole expansion in Stormblood because I was like, I'm playing Monk. I'm doing it. And then in 5.x, I was on Dancer the whole expansion. I didn't like Bard. Machinist I played in my spare time because I thought it was a lot of fun. And then I've been Bard pretty much exclusively this expansion. I mess around on Dancer and Machinist. I do them in like extremes and dungeons and leveling and all the other stuff, but I haven't touched them in Savage. But I have taken the time and experienced them. It's at least enough to a capacity to talk about the changes in detail. So that's my experience with the role as a whole. So with that, I think we can briefly discuss just the raid tier before we talk about the particular jobs. This raid tier on Fizz Rank. Now, I'm going to let everyone know this is about a 45-second conversation most of the time, except that we're on a podcast. Because Stal, as the other main Fizz range, can we agree that it's just looking at how everybody else dies and just wondering what's happening while you just hit the boss doing all the mechanics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's basically the raid tier.
You're like, wow, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
That's all right. What's
in Phoenix.
yeah? Ooh.
Especially in Phoenix. Kind of vibing in the corner, like, what's going on with all these melee players?
Why is the melee dead?
Yeah.
Sly's like, all right, come on now. Sly's offended.
To be fair, it doesn't really happen to me on P1.
No, but on Pnax it will. In
Yeah.
P4S, you will die as a melee. I can promise you that now. Yeah. Bard is as Chad has put it, Bard is this is fine the roll. Up, move, or die. Bard's like, every strat is uptime strat. Why is the melee dead? The crying Bard with dying friends meme is real.
Yes! All of these are extremely accurate this year.
I love that. Bard's like, uptime strat. It seems fine. I don't understand. Why are we changing?
Yeah, this strat looks great, dude.
If you're the Bard dying all the time, be very sad. Please. Please.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Oh, no.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Well, let's talk about it then, Sly, because I don't think Stal.
Oh, you want to go? You want to go to Bard first? You want to go to
No,
Bard first?
I know.
Okay,
Hey,
we can
listen,
do
we
that.
got show notes, man. You do whatever. You know
Yeah.
what? You do whatever you
All
want.
right.
You put most of
All
these
right,
show
all
notes
right.
down. I was just gonna go in order.
All right.
Let's go. I'm ready.
I bet you are. So, like outside of Raid, overall, what do both of y'all think about Bard in Walker compared to Shadowbringers?
Saul and I are about to get into a heated debate
Are you first?
Here we go.
because I didn't like Shadowbringer's Bard. I thought it was a downgrade from Stormblood. It wasn't even a downgrade. It wasn't quality of life to the point where all the other jobs were, include especially the other two range fits, because Machinist was essentially a new job. Dancer was perfectly rounded out on its release. And Bard was like, I'm missing this, I'm missing that. This doesn't make any sense. Why am I doing this? It was just a bunch of question marks. It's like question mark ping over and over again. And then they did Endwalker, and it all makes sense, but some people seem to disagree about where it makes sense and what changes make sense and what changes don't make sense.
Well, one change that definitely makes sense is you're not deaf anymore. Congratulations.
You know what's funny?
Yay.
Stal, you and I had a discussion about that because Stal and I both went to the media tour, and obviously in our off time we were talking about like Bard and some of the other changes.
Yeah.
And we both mentioned that when we were done with because at the media tour we were still deaf.
Yes, we were. Yeah, they didn't add that yet.
Yeah. So
Yep.
her and I just were just like,
Oh well. It do be like that sometimes.
it was that way for the whole expansion, pretty much. It was
Yeah.
all of Shadowbringers are just like, yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, I don't like the sound of my own voice either, but if it gave me buffs, I would listen to it.
True.
Yeah. So that's the only way you'd convince me, because editing is torture.
And speaking of that, are your song windows better now? A little bit better now? Because
That might be your topic first.
I think it's really awkward. it's because in rotations you do 43 seconds actually, not 45. You like 43, 34, 43. But I think the Bard's BIS is 2.48, which fixes a little bit of the clunkiness, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it just feels weird, especially in dungeons. Although I do agree that Shadowbringers Bard sucks, so.
Says the person who played it the whole Shadowbringers, pretty much, except
Yeah.
for this. Why did you
I don't
do
know
that
why.
to yourself? Why did you?
I don't know. I actually don't know why I did that. I only swapped to Dancer and Shiva like in E8S because I got bored of Bard, and I just so happened to clear on Dancer. But I think I was just too comfortable in Bard and didn't make sense to swap.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. See, I was surprised that you didn't bring up. So you talked about the timer for the song Windows, I thought the 34 was going to be something you had some very, very strong opinions about. In particular.
Yeah, it's because 34 is a Mage's Ballad, and Mage's Ballad. How is Mage's Ballad a shittier song than Army's Payoff? Doesn't fucking make sense. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I'm not. See, this is where we disagree because I don't care that ballad is the weaker personally. Like it just doesn't matter to me. Specifically, well, how do I put this?
Well,
No. So here's the thing. Ballad definitely feels worse than before. For those of you who are not Fizz range mains, the main reason Ballad's weaker now is because even though you have 3 Bloodletter procs, you can hold up to 3 stacks, you get them half as frequently. So you only get half of a Bloodletter reset every time it goes. And so, it's 6 seconds minimum per Bloodletter you're going to get back. So because of that, Payon giving you this massive haste buff for the entire duration ends up being better. I don't innately hate any of that. The only thing I dislike about that is I like Brain Dead going from Payon into Minuet as soon as Minuet's ready. That's it. That's the only thing I disliked about it, about this change. But it doesn't faze me at all, Ballad being weaker. But I wouldn't mind if it was reverted.
I think for me it was just weird because Mage's Ballad had a whole Bloodletter mechanic put into it, and it has charges, but like it felt like a proper song compared to like Army Speed Buff. But then you don't even stay in it for the whole duration, and it feels kind of off. I don't really care too much about potency wise because I think the difference is not super huge. I think it's there's a small difference, but it's not really crazy huge or anything. But Mages just feels way cooler than like, hey, you gotta go fast, gotta spam burst shot all the time kind of mechanic. And in dungeons, it also feels a bit weird because Quick Knock doesn't proc Bloodletter as well or Ring of Death anymore.
Knock? You mean
Quick
Bite?
Quick Knock. Layden's Bite sound fucking sucks. It sounds awful, okay? Quick Knock sounds so much better.
Listen, can we just both agree that Wide Volley was better than both?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. They tried to give it back with Shadow Bite essentially being dark Wide Volley, but it's not the same.
No, fuck Shadow Bite. That shit's 5 yalms. Reign of Death is 8 yalms radius.
I can't believe you remember that. I did not remember that.
I was so disturbed by it. How is it smaller radius?
Oh man. Listen. Layden's Bite. Okay. That's it. Yeah, her and I just don't agree on this. Every time this is the match bard. This is the match bard part of the discussion. Because I don't know. I do have one key issue with Ballad being weaker. One specific issue. And it's not even the timing. As the raid tiers progress, kill times get faster. When kill times get faster, buff times get moved. And Bard hates that.
I hate speedrunning as a bard. Like, I hate it so much.
What very specifically sucks is most of the time you have to move your burst window to inside of Ballad. And that is not great. I'll be the first to admit that's not great. But
in comparison, like where Dancer is kind of like free flowing, and it just doesn't get affected by shorter kill times. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But going back to Bard, is it like outside looking in? Is it me or did this job just get busier?
This job's always been busy.
I think I just play it too much, so it doesn't feel. I think it feels less busy for me because now I don't have to predict pitch perfect times anymore. Because back then I had to have like a slight timer in my head for the dots, but now it's just based off songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit more straightforward.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's weird that you even think it's busy because you play Dragoon, arguably one of the busiest melees in terms of like OGCs and moving. Like,
OGCD, yeah.
Yeah, like Dragoon burst window, especially with having the Dragon Sight macro on top of it in the middle of it is yeah.
That's gotten a little bit better.
Oh yeah, I mean it's better because they're the distance, but it's still a macro in the middle of your burst. So
true. I mean, I've grown, like, it's like Stal. I've grown used to it.
yeah, that's pretty much what Bard is, because compared to the other, I think compared specifically to the other range, it is busier. Like, I get that Machinist is hypercharge, but hypercharge is easy busy work, I suppose. It's just making sure you don't overlap it with other things. Whereas Bard is like, you know, in your opener, you're doing your dots, and you have buff 1, buff 2, buff 3, buff 4, because you have to go into Minuet, and then you have to balance, oh, do I have a proc on this? You know, can I barrage this GCD? No, I have to Shadow Bite this GCD. I got to make sure I don't overcap on it. So, like, on paper, that sounds like it's a lot, but what actually ends up happening is you make one of two choices, and you're pretty much set from that point on. You just have to be paying attention from that point on, and it's just GCDs. Like, am I doing burst shot, or am I refreshing dots, or did I get a proc? Because you don't have that many GCDs to balance on Bard. More than before, but not that many.
You can just drop dots. It's fine. It's useless now.
Yes. And speaking of dots, how are you feeling about dots?
But before we talk about that, please don't drop them. Just so please still put your dots up as a responsible guide maker. Please still use them. If you forget,
okay, so that answers my question. That answers my question. Okay, all right.
Yeah, Stal. This. So I thought that the ballad part was going to be strong opinions, but the second she said the word dots, I went, "Oh no."
Yeah, I personally prefer the previous Bard iterations where dots used to proc stuff, because I like RNG over.
See, I can't fucking stand RNG. I hate RNG jobs. I fucking hate them so much.
Well,
is Dancer too RNG for you?
I mean, any job with RNG is too RNG for me. I say that with.
Didn't Dragoon used to have one of its combo parts be RNG? Didn't it used to not always be the same?
Was it thing
for like a patch?
Yeah, like Heaven's Word or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like for a patch, and they were like, "Fuck that shit," you know, just make it stat. Yeah, I'm like, thank God. Funny thing, like, I say that with exception to early Astro. That's the only RNG I'll fucking take.
My man said, I don't like RNG, but also Astro is cool.
Early Astro was fucking cool. Leave me the fuck alone. I will die on that hill. We all know this. But yeah.
So that's like saying that you like skill-based games, but your favorite competitive game is Yu-Gi-Oh. You understand that, right? Like, you understand that that's what you just said in a nutshell.
It's ass backwards, but I stand by it. I stand by it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just weird. I find RNG pretty fun. I like the dots version because it made my AoE a lot more fluid as well. Like, it seems to be better. Now AoE is just shitty and awful.
Layden's Bite.
Shadow Bite sucks.
Layden's Bite, Shadow Bite. Layden's Bite, Layden. I love Payon during AoE. I just like Machine Gun Layden's Bite. It just fire 5 arrows over and over again. That's it. That's your whole AoE at this point. See, it's weird because I feel like the AoE got more straight. Here's the funny thing, though. The AoE got streamlined and not in a way anyone predicted. Because everyone went, oh, they're finally going to give them a way to spread dots. And they're like, no, we're going to make it so you just don't need to dot in AoE ever.
I find it so sad. I really like the older playstyle. Especially now that Reign of Death has charges. It just, I don't know, it kind of made sense to me. Like, the whole reason we had charges in the first place was because dots were proccing stuff. And then now they just kind of removed everything. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Another Mediator discussion Stal and I had was, wait, so they gave us 2 stacks, but you can proc them both at the same time, and thus
And you have Imperial.
Yeah, and so we were like, so they accomplished nothing, essentially. And then they went, oh, okay, that's fine, we'll give you 3. But also,
We removed the dot.
yeah, it was weird because they went like in both directions at the same time and just never. It was just 2 cars driving like down different paths, and then they just never met back up at the other side.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Stormblood Bard still probably one of the better iterations still.
Stormblood Bard was just nailed. It was Bard as a deep. I mean, it was the introduction as to it making sense. Bard being a DPS, because before that it was they struggled. Like it was like, oh, Bard's a DPS. What the heck? Where's like, can I just not play a Bard? Like, can I play or like a ranged physical DPS that isn't singing? And then it was like, here's cast bars in heaven's.
Back in my day, Bard had a healer limit break in it.
I missed the healer limit break. Don't shit on the
I wasn't there during that time. I was there for the cast bar part, but I was too late.
Those were funny times. Those were fucking funny times.
Stal, just remember this. You know how right now people will be like, just make sure a healer lives so that they can healer LB. It used to be make sure the Bard lives so they can healer LB.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I used to have so much privilege. Now they tell me to sack myself all the time. That's awful.
Stal, this exact thought came into my head. The other day we were doing Phoenix and the healer went to the wrong spot for the spread. So I just walked into the wall to kill myself so they could LB3.
Oh my god.
But I was thinking to myself in that moment, like, if Bard still had LB3, I would just leave. Like, I would make sure I lived. I wouldn't give a fuck about that. Like, I'll do it. Don't worry. But that's
and both of you bringing up a good point, because death is a fact of life for every fucking job, no matter what. But because of like how windows are set up in Walker, it feels a bit more punishing when you die on Bard.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm sorry. Did I just cause some trauma?
I need some chocolate.
I'm sorry.
Too much.
I'm sorry. What?
I need some chocolate to recover from that.
Do you need a beer? Do you need some whiskey? Do you need some whiskey? Do I need to get the whiskey?
10 glasses.
Oh boy. Oh, thank you. Chocolate bar. Okay. We can continue.
It's terrible.
Thoughts?
So bad.
So
you're just stuck songless.
Yeah. So Bard has one of the most rigid rotations of any job in the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can make no mistakes or you are unfixable for the rest of the fight. And, well, I say unfixable. You can fix it by not playing a song for like a minute and a half.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
And,
like, I don't know of many jobs that can kind of unfuck themselves when they die.
Dancer.
Yeah, I was about to say Dancer was like the only one because it's so flexible. But
Monk can unfuck themselves.
With Bard.
Oh yeah, Monk is pretty easy to fix.
Reaper can unfuck themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black Mage can really unfuck themselves.
Kinda.
Red Mage can also. Red Mage just has to make sure their next they just have to live to their next manification and they're fixed.
Yeah.
Essentially. Summoner's not great, but
yeah,
that's. Bard was fixable previous expansion.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, it's just this expansion has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Specifically, the reason that Shadowbringer's Bard could fix it is because your songs were actually affected by your skill speed. So, if you died, then the speed difference, like they didn't drift necessarily. Like you can move them. There was the ability to move them because they had different recast timers. Now they're static recast timers, so you can't fix it really.
I mean, on Goon, it's kind of like a matter of when you die. If you die before a burst, like you're kind of fucked. But if you die after, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, sure, I can get this back. I'm just getting my eyes back. But yeah, y'all are kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
die in minuet, but you didn't click battle voice. And all your songs are on cooldown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's pain.
That hurts.
Yeah, that hurts. The songs, it's weird because the songs make sense in a vacuum, but you don't play in a vacuum. You play in a game where shit happens, and Bard is just like, it's like you went to a concert and all the speakers didn't work when something goes wrong. There's no fixing it. There's no coming back.
It's like you're singing into the mic, but nobody can hear you. Like your mic cut off everything.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's exactly how it feels like.
Yeah. Like chat, if you played in a vacuum, then no one would be able to hear you. Nobody would get buffs in a vacuum. I like to imagine when people get Bard buffs, they hear the song and they're like,
vibing. Catch up.
There you go. Hey, there's cat jamming the whole time. It's like, yeah, I can. Ivy is the opposite of cat jamming right now. She's cat napping. Okay. But yeah, no, dying sucks a lot on Bard. One thing with Bard, though, is we were wondering where it was going to stand, because we knew that there was going to be a bunch of buffs a few weeks ago. Like, they warned us in advance that there was going to be a bunch of potency buffs. So I was wondering where Bard was going to stand after that. And then I remembered Bard was already a god before that. So, of course, it was still going to be a god after that. And that's pretty much what happened. Because I still don't see a reason to play Dancer, personally. I'm starting to see a reason. But I'm not seeing a reason other than you like it. Like, if you have a choice, it better be because you like it.
Maybe it's speed run.
Even in speedruns, I think it's a comfort thing. Because it's easier to play in speedruns.
I don't know, because speedruns is a lot of, like, farming for crits and stuff as well. So maybe just, like, slightly better. I'm not sure how good it is. I don't think it falls that far.
It's still a little behind. It's just so much easier. It's so much easier. It's so nice.
Yeah. That's just way more straightforward.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you need me to move technical step? I will just not press it until I need to. And Bard's like,
oh, wow, we gotta come up with a whole spreadsheet. When is the kill time? When is this or that?
You're like, can I catch? Oh, I'm going to be in. Oh, then I'm stuck in valid for the rest. And then you're like thinking to yourself, the worst part about Bard is that when you're preparing to burst on Bard, it is a process to get to that point. Because you need to know where your dot timers are, what your gauge, like you're saving 100 gauge. When you have to delay 30 seconds, that means you have to know to use your gauge at 80 again. So you have 80 gauge for the delayed burst. Or you need to remember to, because you're not holding it anymore. So you're like, you just have to fix your brain. And I can't. It's every time our group's like, damn, that was such a good kill. I'm like, you shut the fuck up. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about it. That was not a good kill.
Me playing Bard for many expansions. This is exactly how I feel.
Good, you get to feel it again. The experience.
I'm swapping to Dancer.
Swapping to Dancer.
No more Bard for me.
So I guess we kind of probably touched on it a little bit with our ups and downs. Is there a wish list of things for Bard for you?
Go back to Stormblood.
Okay, is there an achievable wish list for Bard?
Honestly, the Minotaur build was pretty solid for me. But I want the 3 charges. I don't really care if Bard is deaf or not, because it doesn't affect rotation or the feel, so that's kind of whatever for me. But I like Minotaur with 3 charges.
And I assume
also
dots.
My full Requiem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're getting full Requiem back next expansion. I'm calling it now.
I really hope so. I thought full Requiem Refresh was so good. It was so fun to optimize too.
Well, we're not going to get that. But I mean, we're going to get like, it's here's what's going to happen. They're going to replace both. They're going to have 1 dot next expansion, and it's just going to be Foes Requiem. They're going to get rid of both the other ones. Foes Requiem is going to be a debuff or a dot, and they're going to get rid of both the dots next expansion.
I'm thinking they're just going to remove dots in general. Like, we're already kind of there, right?
Yeah, but it's like, come on, you can't just give up on the whole dots thing. Like they've moved away from it being annoying, and now they're just afraid of them, like altogether. And then on Gunbreaker, they're like, yeah, they need 2 dots. They need a GCD and OGCD dot, and so does Paladin. And they're like, what the? How can you be so afraid of it and so not afraid of it at the same time? Like, yeah, those are dot jobs. The Paladin's dot job. Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
That's why it's so obvious that there are different people deciding the different jobs.
The job balance guy's like, stop.
Yeah.
I'm done with dots. And the tank guy is like, all right, let me do this over here real quick. Yeah, one day. Remember when White Mage had 3?
One day.
Oh, man.
I remember
Pepperidge
when
Farm remembers.
Remember when Summoner had 6? Yeah, I think it was Thunder, Miasma 2, Bio 2, and a Potent Poisoning Potion. That was in A Realm Reborn. He used to pop the fucking potion to extend it.
Potion?
Yeah, there's at level 50, there's Potent Poisoning Potions, and that used to be part of the raid. You had to prep those for raid. All 8 people had to use Potent Poisoning Potions for the extra. I think it was like 100 potency. I think it was 50 potency per person. And it was every like 3 minutes.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
But on Summoner, you used to be able to extend dots. So you could put the potent poisoning potion on and then extend it by 15 seconds. So, and then they had Shadow Flare. Right.
Oh, Shadow Flare.
Yeah.
I like Shadow.
So they had
Flaming Arrow.
7 dots in A Realm Reborn when it first released. And look at them now. They have Slipstream. You good? All right.
No, I'm not good.
So I don't think the dot talk was gonna make you drink. Maybe if we talked about mandatory positionals on heavy thrust.
No, it's just remembering fucking having to bring poison pots.
Hey man, world first. You got to do what you got to do. That was it. All right, so I think we're good on Bard Sly. So you drive this ship. What are we talking about next?
Okay, let's talk about our Dancy boys.
Dancy boy. It's my Dancy.
Yeah, our Dancy boys. So,
Dancy boys and girls.
How you feeling? How you feeling about Endwalker Dancy boys?
Just got to do all the dances. I don't actually know the animations for all of them. I just know one is this.
What was that?
Yeah.
I saw
one is this.
What the hell was that?
They grab them both. They do this. That's one of the dance steps. Listen, when you're bored on Dancer, you just sometimes press your dance button and press them all for no reason, just to see the animations.
Yes, that is true.
It's better than the improv one, which is literally just like...
Improv looks like played it, but the female Lalafell version.
Yeah. Improv looks ridiculous. It looks like you went to a rave, but you didn't like learn how before you went. So you're just swinging shit around the whole time while you spin. Oh, man. But yeah, no, Dancer. Yeah, Dancer's fun.
I didn't get to play Dancer much.
But what?
But
what?
It's just fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
I won't play it, but it's fun.
Wait, you won't play it?
Not while Bard is as good as it is. I will say this. Last expansion, I think I was griefing by doing prog on Bard the whole expansion. I mean, on Dancer the whole expansion. I think I was griefing. So I don't want to make that mistake.
Maybe the first one, but I think the second and third wasn't that bad. I think Shiva was really good, though.
I should have been on Machinist, without a doubt, for prog.
Oh.
Because, so... Sly wrote some of the questions, so I'm just going to take one. Is it teammate or party dependent? It is, and in prog, that is... It's not that you can't rely on your team.
Oh, I've noticed. In writing this question, I answered like... In writing the question, and I'm like, I left it, but like at the same time, I thought about it with my raid team, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is. Holy fuck.
I can
Sure is.
I could just think of so many times where there's been a pull where there's been like a mistake that somebody else made that would cost DPS during a burst window, whether it be like them having weakness during it or a damage down during it or something that is salvageable for a win if I wasn't on Dancer. Like if I was on Machinist and solely responsible for my damage, especially because our DPS wise Machinist was still higher than Dancer, like even like in Prague and after. Like Dancer's our DPS was just dependent on everyone playing super well, and Prague is not everyone playing well.
Yeah. I guess for me it was mainly comfort, but I think Dancer in Titan, what's the Eden's Gate? That was really bad. I think Dancer was really bad at the time. It was really bad. I think it was on par with Ninja, kind of bad.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Because
I think
they gave a bunch of potency buffs after. Like they gave potency buffs going into that tier, but they gave more afterwards.
I think the potency buffs that they gave at the time wasn't even enough.
I think it was like 50
so many
potency.
groups are.
They gave like 50 potency to like a few things, but it's like their potencies were so low it didn't matter that much really.
This tier is the same thing. I see a lot of people who were playing Dancer ended up struggling with the DPS check in phase 2, even though it wasn't that tough, I think, compared to Titan.
Yeah.
I think it was easier, but it seems like anyone who brought or maybe people that I know of that brought a Dancer or a Paladin end up struggling quite a bit. Yeah, Dancer is usually not my first pick.
When we cleared, everyone immediately went, if we had a Paladin, we die there. If we had a Dancer, we die there.
Oh my god, this is the exact same thing as my group too. Because we were practicing Act 4, and we just somehow cleared while using Grade 4 and Grade 5 potions. And I think if we had any of like the lower DPS jobs, we would have definitely not cleared. It was kind of crazy.
To be fair, every job cleared week 1. Dancer was the last one. I think of the first 100 clears, there was like 2 Dancers. I think Miz's group had a Dancer, and there was like a JP, like a random JP group that had a Dancer.
I think it was Jeff, King Jeff.
Oh yeah,
Jeff's group had a Dancer and Paladin. They were struggling so hard. They needed to get a perfect run. It was, they were suffering a lot.
That's been my big thing. Like it is when everything goes great on Dancer. Here's the thing: you feel good playing Dancer, but feeling good doesn't make up for when other people don't play well. That's my main gripe, and it's not even like a gripe with it. You just aren't able to be responsible enough on your own on Dancer, and that. I mean, that's a pro and a con. It's not saying they should change it. That's a big thing I want to make clear. I don't think they should change that. I think it's good for the identity. It's good for the balance. It's good for people who like playing that job and getting that job fantasy. Realistically, though, I would not want to play one in week 1 Prague ever. Bard has bigger RDPS contributions, and it can be more personally responsible.
I think Bard's a pretty good balance between like the Dancer and Machinist side. But Dancer, I think, is doing in a much better spot now after the 0.08 changes. So
yeah, it is. They have a lot. They just took their personal DPS and bumped it up, which helped a lot.
Yeah, I think right now it's just a couple of things that because of the potency buffs, I think the difference between your GCD potency and standard dance is a lot closer, so there's a few rotational changes along the way and a bit of small optimization.
It can be kind of weird because you don't want to drift standard step, but there are times where it is worse to standard step than just GCD.
Yeah, at a certain skill speed too, I think. It's weird.
Sly, you're the questioner. I know we took that conversation.
I thought you were like going to expand, but okay. All right.
Not you too. Don't yell at me.
Yell at him.
Yell at him.
Yeah.
Like how we said it at the same time. Yell at him.
Oh man, it's so fluffy.
Yeah, he's very upset with me right now.
Good job.
So simple question, Starfall Dance worth it as a skill?
I love Starfall Dance.
Oh, it's so pretty.
That is honestly on Dancer. That's like 90% of the value of your skills is how pretty.
Yeah.
They look.
Yeah, this is true. The dancer skills are really pretty. Although Machinist still has better sound effects.
Much better.
Hell yeah, it
Yeah.
does. Hell yeah.
Machinist feels so nice to play because of the sound effects.
Yeah.
The sound of a fucking shotgun.
The one thing that's weird about Starfall Dance is the way they decided to give Dancer its new skills is very strange. Because Dancer was criticized for its like filler phases before, and they standardized the filler phases, but they only gave you burst windows tools. That's all they gave you.
aren't the filler phases what makes it a little bit free flowing?
Yes,
I guess
it is. Yeah, but it's super boring.
Yeah, it gets boring.
Insanely boring. So, yeah, but it's weird because they just gave you like a few buttons that as long as you're pressing your buffs, you get access. I mean, maybe they just did it because they saw new players couldn't discern the importance of their cooldowns. Maybe they had data that suggested that like people were like, oh, I don't understand. Like, what's the big deal about flourish? Like, oh, I get this. Like, maybe, I don't know. So they just gave them buttons that they get from pressing their buttons that they only press every 1 or 2 minutes. Hey, stop.
And going into burst a little bit, how's Talana feel? Burst wise.
Oh man, Talana threw me off so much. It was so weird when I first played it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it acts like a standard finish, but it's weird. It's a 1.5 cooldown.
Yeah, so it's literally just your standard finish, but as a GCD without the actual step. So its potency compared to standard step is pretty good, like comparatively, but it doesn't feel that good to press. That's a big
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just it's weird. It's what I don't understand is why they looked at Talana and went, have it extend standard step, and it's like, why?
It's kind of a weird thing to add.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
it's because people kept dropping, like not doing standard dance or something.
Yeah, but then can I trust them to do Talana? Like, is Talana gonna help that? Like,
it's every 2 minutes too.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think Talana is fine because its lower GCD is good for your rotation. Like, when you actually play, you need that, like, reduced GCD to help so that you can set up your next burst time. Because one thing Bard used to have with their burst is essentially the GCD you needed to start bursting was the second your steps come up.
Yeah.
So, like, and Machinist does that now. Like, like if you see, oh, it's on 3 when you press your GCD, you know that the next one around is on the GCD. This lets you it buys you an extra second to recognize where you need to be in your rotation. So it makes it so that you can avoid drifting a little bit more easily. So that's good, but it is not a feel good skill. It just doesn't feel great to press. It makes sense in the grand scheme.
Yeah.
So it's why it's the lowest priority skill other than I think one of their GCDs in your burst. Because you have so many other things to press as Dancer in your burst now. Oh man. That's fine.
And we've kind of been, talking about it the entire time, but in terms of buff alignment, how go with the flow is Dancer in terms of buff alignment?
It's as go with the flow as you can be. But if
Yeah,
you
it's
screw
super
up, everyone hates you.
flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
I feel like again, it's kind of one of those things with Dancer where it's, I don't want to say hard to screw up, but
If you somehow
Like,
screw
yeah.
up Simon Says, you deserve to be drifting the entire fight. Well, I guess you
I
won't even be
agree.
drifting, but yeah.
Right.
You earned that fuck up, as far as I'm concerned.
And see, but I feel like, and you talk about drift, I feel like Dancer drift is kind of a little bit different from hypercharged drift, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, no, it's different than all the other drifts because you really have to earn your drift. You have to do it to yourself. Like,
right.
I guess earn maybe not the right word, but you are solely responsible for that. That has nothing to do with the fight. That has nothing to do with where you are in your rotation. You 100% are at fault if you ever fuck up on you cannot blame anyone else.
You must have really fucked up so bad to the point where you just drift so much.
Yeah, like before.
Or just go speed time.
I'd say when it was 2.5 GCD, standard step drifting was almost like a little more normal. Like that was a feasible thing to happen back in Shadowbringers because you could just like it could slip your mind for a second and you press a GCD and now standard steps a GCD off. Whatever, not the end of the world. But now it's like everything in the job is built to try to help you prevent it. You have to earn the drift. You have to Tokyo drift in order to drift at all. Don't give me that look.
I usually have one ready. I don't have one ready right now.
Good. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So their buff alignment is solid.
Yeah. And again, we already talked about how like you can fuck up and die and still unfuck yourself with Dancer. So it's easy. It's way easier than Bard.
Dude, honestly, as the fights get shorter, like I really don't want to play Dancer because Bard is just so freaking good. But as the fights get shorter, my team keeps saying, "Oh, we should move that 30 seconds." I'm
my god. I hate that.
Yep.
So
now one thing we haven't touched on in comparison is the damage. How am I feeling about those numbers for Dancer? Because I'm hearing things.
Listen.
I remember in Shadowbringers, like, I remember your numbers from Shadowbringers, and, like, if you were good, you could do stupid damage.
No, it was not if you were good. It was if technical finish crit.
Crit direct hit.
Yeah. You're like, oh my god, 140,000! And if it doesn't crit, 60,000.
Yes. Man, that was depressing.
Can we pull again?
Yeah.
Were you that one person who sack pulls until you got that crit?
No, but I wanted to. I was like,
It's tempting.
I can en avant right off the side.
Right man.
I am one gap closer away from this being a reset. And I have 3 of them. So I can do
it's super tempting when even your standard step doesn't crit direct hit, and then your future standard steps and your future technical steps are all just normal hits, and it's just like, is there really any point in continuing this flow? Maybe we should reset, guys.
Maybe we should reset. Yeah,
that's a big thing. Why I thought progging on it was griefing, because that's the difference between your kill and your not kill.
It's huge. It's a really huge difference under buffs too, especially now that 2 minutes are so emphasized.
Right.
Like, just imagine the boss had a 0.1%, right? And you know that if you were on one of the other 2 range physical, you could have just done that damage yourself. But because you didn't fucking crit in your opener, you wiped. That is the sole reason. Now, you could say, oh, maybe other people didn't crit too. Yeah, but yours is literally doubling the damage. You're going from 5 digits to 6. And it's like this massive difference.
Bard is just more consistent.
Your gameplay is affected by somebody else too. So
it's just like people are like, "Oh, Dancer is so much RNG before," and I'm like, "No, your fucking crit RNG is all that mattered because you're just worthless without that crit. That doesn't crit. You feel like you've wasted your time playing Dancer."
Look, and okay, I'm gonna speak as if she is watching. Riss.
That's his.
She's my
his,
dancer.
That's his dancer. Yeah.
That's my dancer.
Huh.
If you sack and I'm doing well, I will sack so you don't do well. I love you. Thank you for giving me dance partner.
This
Yeah,
is
that's not a
threat.
good way of keeping dance partner. I want you to understand.
I know. I'm just saying.
That's honestly the best part about playing dancer is what your team is going to offer.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's what is
It's
my
a
team going to
double-edged
offer
sword.
me? They're going to be like, listen. So I was thinking about it, and you should probably try giving me dance partner this week. And then the other person is like, I don't know. I feel like I'm still probably the best dance partner, and they're like trying to like figure out how to use you. You're a cooldown. So I'm trying to optimize you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's
Just swap
And I'm
dance
trying to,
partners every
I'm trying to
60 seconds.
optimize
Don't do
you.
that.
I'm trying to optimize you.
Dude, imagine if
don't
standard
tag.
step didn't fall off when you
Oh my
swapped.
god, I was actually testing it. And stuff.
That would be the most
I thought that-
toxic thing of all time. Somebody brought up
That'd
that
be
one
so funny.
one thing you can do if somebody's burst is better, but their like consistent DPS after isn't as high. You can use Talana to swap and then
Yeah.
Talana. Yeah, that is an effective use of it if somebody's burst is better than their like if you have like a Dark Knight that's outbursting your red mage. Sorry, revenge. That's my red mage.
Get called out.
Sorry. had to bring it up.
Wow.
If you have a Dark Knight that's outbursting your red mage.
This is the fucking salt show. What
And,
the fuck?
no, because that's just
Sorry,
true, 'cause
bro.
Dark Knight's burst is stupid good. Like Dark Knight genuinely
is.
bursts
It is.
better than a DPS at times. It outbursts a lot. Like you could unironically dance partner a Dark Knight for its opener and then swap to like the actual DPS who you're going to be on. It would genuinely not be a bad
I'm
thing.
low key thinking about like citing
Citing a Dark Knight.
Yeah, I'm low key thinking about it.
I love it. But the problem
You do
is,
so much though, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just whoever's bursting.
am I
the
wrong
most.
though?
It's just whoever's bursting the most. Like that's the problem. Is even if
Right.
a Dark Knight outbursts like a red mage, they're probably not outbursting everybody.
And see, I have a monk in my party too, and I'm like,
They should really be getting it over you. I want you to know that. I hope Riss is listening.
huh?
The monk should really be getting it over you.
There,
Monk is pretty nice.
They should be.
Should be.
They're not. Your dancer could fix that at any point.
Oh man.
Riz, don't listen to him. I love you.
I played
Riss, I
Mario
love
Party
you. I'll
with
make
both
your
of you. I don't
pockets.
believe that sentence for a remote second.
I make their pots. I am pot bitch.
What did I say? Everybody wants to fucking bribe the dancer. Everybody wants to do it.
That is my bribe. That is my contribution. I am food and pot bitch. That is what I bring to the table besides my DPS.
I'm just saying,
And
numerically speaking, monk is
And
better.
litany and sight. And that's it.
If only monk wasn't still better.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Drops a
man.
random buff on Monk for no reason.
Yeah, don't forget they have
Thanks,
Monk,
Well,
Monk
we
is a
did
5%.
just get our buffs.
They got Brotherhood.
We did
Yeah,
just-
they just gave them a 15% buff to their hardest hitting skill.
I was so shocked when I saw that.
We want to reward busyness, and it's like, pretty sure being second on overall DPS is your reward for being busy.
Like, hey, thank you.
I think they're first
Love
now.
you.
Actually, I think they're
Love you.
number one. I'm gonna
Love
check.
you.
Yeah, I know Monk moved up a lot.
Oh shit.
Monk's really good. Yeah, Monk moved up to number one.
Oh boy. I was so shocked when I saw the buffs. I
Yeah,
wasn't expecting that at all.
yeah. Let me. That's at all percentiles. Let me do it at like 80th. Yep, Monk, Black Mage, Reaper, Dragoon, top 4. There you go. Look, Dragoon's number 4 on overall.
Let's go.
The first fight
Let's
is Monk,
go.
Black Mage, Samurai, Reaper. So, there's Monk. Let's look at the second fight. Monk, Black Mage, Reaper, Dragoon. There you go. Third fight, Monk, Reaper, Dragoon, Ninja, Samurai. All the melees. Holy moly. That's really good for them. Hesperos'
Fourth fight.
Black Mage is number 1 on Hesperos 1.
Mm-hmm.
That does not surprise me in any capacity. That fight is
nope.
Yeah.
All the shit y'all been talking.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that goes Black Mage, Monk, Reaper, Samurai, Dragoon. And then probably phase 2 is Black Mage also. Yep, sure enough. Phase 2. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, Hesperos is so good for Black Mage. It's insane. But yeah, Monk's great. Give it dance partner. That's my general advice to all dancers watching. If you have a monk in the party, they are your best choice. So please listen to me. Not you, Ivy. You're not a dancer or a monk.
This is the Happy Strat from the founder of Happy Brambles and Happy Fountains.
Stop it.
Yay.
Stop it.
Hey.
Stop it. I will say, so one big thing, so this whole discussion about damage was talking about Dancer's damage, one of the big things. They did a lot for that. Like Dancer, during their burst window, you kind of, like, yeah, you want that direct crit, but you have so many hard-hitting skills during your burst now that you do genuinely, like, they fixed Dancer's burst a lot in Endwalker.
Yeah.
For anyone who didn't play it in Shadowbringers, essentially it was you standard step into your opener, and then you technical, and then you go into just popping all your GCDs and trying to manage your gauge. Your gauge really managed you in Shadowbringers because you could only fit so many additional saber dances in a burst window without losing your other procs. So you just had to play like a little mental game. But it, like, if your technical stepped in crit, you really it hurt bad. Now you have Starfall dance. You still have standard step. You have the critical. You can saber dance basically freely now. Like it's super good. Talana still fitting inside that burst window, still a pretty decent potency. So it's so much better of a burst window for Dancer. So it's incredible. It's just a little boring.
I love that Starfall Dance is crit direct hit guaranteed too. It's pretty nice.
It's good. It's all good. Yeah. Not to mention, of course, you even outside of that have you have Devilment on that whole time.
Yeah.
The only thing I still wish that was viable on Dancer was to have Devilment up before technical step.
Yeah.
It is the perpetual curse. Oh, my hardest hitting skill that I need to direct crit. Guess I won't have buffs for that. It's the
I
worst.
hate that. It feels so bad. I'm so tempted to do it, but it's just not good.
I do it in the
Party-wise.
party finder because I don't know if everyone's even playing well. So I just focus on me.
But if you're in the party finder and you play Dancer,
yeah, that's a mistake.
yeah,
But if you are going to
probably
do
wish
that,
Cidus.
then Devilment before technical stuff. Fuck them.
Grief everyone, fuck
Grief
it.
everybody, just buff yourself. I wish that technical steps buff went on the party when you pressed it, not when you finished it.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
would be pretty nice.
And it like ramps up during each dance, like each part. And then when you finish it, it's the finished buff. So like when you press the first one, everyone has like a 2% buff. And then you press the second step, and now everyone has a 5% buff. And then
Everyone's gonna know if you fucked up, Simon says.
yep. Absolutely. Yeah. That would be my number one fix. That's the only fix actually at this point I think I'd want for Dancer. If of all the things they've done,
That's your wish list.
Only fix I still want is for technical to be that kind of scaling application so you feel better for yourself using it. That still doesn't fix the issue with the buff with having the crit, but it still feels better.
I don't think I have any wish list for Dancer. I know Machinist has a ton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you like new improv Stal?
It's a bit clunky-ish. I don't mind it, but it's a bit weird sometimes. Kind of wish the shield just applied when I click improv though. I kind of wish I didn't have to do double improv.
Yeah. No, I understand that. That's it's weird. I don't know. I kind of like I sort of like optimizing old improv. When the whole party's stacked together, you get 5 seconds of the healing and you get an extra 10. Sometimes you even get an extra 20 Esprit. Because for some reason, improv gave you 10 instantly and then could proc up to 5 times. Like it gave you however many people were in range. But for Monk, they never figured out how to do that for a Notman. So they had to
Yes! So weird.
I never understood how a Notman didn't do that when it came out, but Improv did. So like monks are downloading like third-party programs to track server ticks and shit. And I'm just like, but we have another job that does this. What are you doing, Monk?
Another example of how it's just all different people designing jobs.
Yeah, the technology was there. It just didn't make any sense.
So weird.
Your monk had to do your countdown macros because they needed to know when to start the countdown during the global server tick.
That's like so ridiculous. And Monk had like a ton of weird stuff. Like, oh, you can't play at 60 FPS.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, you
So
had to play
you
at like
can't do
30
it on like
FPS.
Yeah, it's something like, oh, if you play on 1.9 whatever GCD and you play on 60 FPS, you're actually 1.97, so you shouldn't do that. Some weird shit.
I forgot about all that.
Just like, what the fuck?
You have to play at different FPSs on Monk. I forgot about it.
It's so stupid.
Sly's like, I'm so glad I don't play Monk. It's not a melee show, but it's kind of a melee show now. I can't believe it.
It's terrible.
Yeah. That'll be fun. That'll be fun when
So-
we do the melee show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
So last but not least, the fun job.
The fun.
The fun.
Yay.
The fun. The gun. The gun. The fun with the gun machinist. Perhaps you already heard how I feel. How are you feeling about machinist?
I loved Shadowbringers Machinist. I also play with 13 ping, so I apologize to everyone else on the show.
Oh my god, fuck you.
Fuck you!
Yeah.
Even with a VPN, like I'm getting like maybe 70 on a good day.
Same.
Yeah, I play with 13.
I'm sitting at 72.
13 ping, so I love
You can go fuck
Machinist.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So this is a great job. Nothing needs to change. That's
He's wrong about that, but we'll let him go on. Go on.
I like big hits, and I cannot lie. And Machinist is big hit after robot after big hit, and then robot with the big hit. So they did good. It's just the Shadowbringers rework was fantastic. And this is that they were like, okay, we did it right. Let's not fuck it up. So here's a couple things. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't play it that much, I think, for Machinist. I think the Stormblood Machinist was... Wow, the Flamethrower... I don't know, man.
Flamethrower was, to be honest, Flamethrower was kind of meh, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
Bioblaster, maybe less so. I mean, Bioblaster and Flamethrower were kind of hand in hand in terms of like how meh they felt. Like, Bioblaster a little bit less, but Flamethrower, I was like,
It's just sitting there AFK.
and yeah.
It's weird. Like the skill's so cool, but
I mean, it's like, to me, Flamethrower really felt like just aesthetics, honestly. It hardly does shit. You feel like a low-key Jamaican when you do Flamethrower. Like,
What?
Perhaps you haven't seen any reggae videos, so you don't know about you don't know about the reference. So yeah.
All right. You guys are talking
But you
about
feel
Flamethrower
like-
all wrong anyway, so I'm just sitting here enjoying it.
Let's speak. Go ahead.
I don't understand why anybody doesn't understand how you're supposed to use Flamethrower. You literally press the button so you can pick up your coffee and drink it. That is the whole point. It is the
I actually
coffee
do
button.
that. I just click Flamethrower, then I just go take a walk or something. I come back.
It's literally the best skill in the game. You know how much I would kill for a fucking French fry? That's a French fry button, a coffee button. It's a fucking stretching, but it's everything. It's so multi-purpose.
It's a beer button.
You can check Twitter and then immediately regret it.
It's a beer button.
But it's useless at single target.
And yes, Korean place for dinner, babe. She asked. I wasn't gonna wait to answer that. Hold on, I'm going to Korean tonight. I'm gonna get some hot soup. Yeah, you could change your music playlist, dude. It's so good. I love Flamethrower.
I bet.
I didn't really like it in Stormblood. I think.
I didn't like Machinist in Stormblood.
Yeah, I didn't like it too. Just mainly because it's too ping reliant. Can't play it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean.
I'm like Mr. 13 MS.
What am I, Mr. Madge, Mr. 13 MS?
Like, Mr. Happy 13.
No. No. I'll stick with the 1227. You know how many people think that it's just, I couldn't get 1337? That's it.
Oh, that makes sense.
I've had so many people think that. They're like, oh, did you just not get Leet? And I was just like, no. My name isn't Mr. Happy Leet. That is it. That is not what it is. Okay. All right. But yeah, I love this job.
I think the job plays really nice, though.
It does.
Very satisfying.
Yep.
But it's just the DPS that's a bit.
Yeah.
So I actually have something to say about that.
Okay.
Oh no.
Number one.
I'm saying the same thing in my head. I'm saying the same thing in my head.
If you're in a static, please don't play machine.
I agree with that.
Listen, I'm being very specific.
That.
If you are in a static, for the love of God, do not play Machinist. Like, you can. Don't get me wrong. You can. It's fine. You'll beat the tier, but, like, you are griefing. Okay.
And I think I kind of get where you're going with this, Happy. I think I kind of get it because I actually had a question about it.
But if you're in the party finder, play the fuck out of Machinist.
Fuck out of it. Yeah.
Because...
And see...
You cannot rely on our DPS as your fucking metric in the party finder. Your A DPS and your N DPS need to be what fucking matters. If you've ever been into a P1S where the monk is like the 4th DPS, you suddenly wish you were on fucking Machinist and not Dancer or Bard. Okay? That's it.
And I was gonna bring that up because, compared to Bard and Dancer, party friendly, party dependent, helps the party. Machinist is more lone wolf compared to the two.
I mean, it is supposed to be the selfish DPS. It's selfish with being the only thing selfish about Machinist is that you're choosing to play a job while griefing everyone else at this point. That's the most selfish thing about it. Is you're like, I love this job. I don't care about you. It's like, it's the worst. God. It's the worst job in the game. I don't care. I like it. That was Dancer a month ago.
I feel like Machinist is better in like PF, like shittier DPS kind of thing. But I still don't think it's good enough for it to be like the Black Mage or Samurai of it. It's just like the better alternative. And I think at best, maybe you just do like 100-ish more DPS.
That's why it needs a buff and badly. But we'll get to that. We haven't gotten to that.
I was surprised they thought 20 potency on 3 skills. That
like what the actual fuck?
Yeah, that was incorrect. It honestly should have just been their base skills that got 20. If they had given all 3 of their base GCDs 20 potency each, and then also given not hypercharge, heat blast. Heat Blast would have needed 10 on all of them also. That would have done the trick. But 20 potency on Drill, Air Anchor, and Chainsaw was not the answer.
No.
I actually know people that don't want combo potency buffs.
For fucking... Why?
They want Gauss Barrel, Gauss Round, Heat Blast buffs, and Queen Finishers. And I think one thing that they really should add is a Wildfire crit direct hit. Like being able to crit direct hit.
Heat Blast makes sense. I mean, I agree with Heat Blast. Yeah, that makes sense, but not the combo though.
So
I think a lot of them they want to be rewarded in burst windows.
Yeah, that's the big thing. When you're raising base combos like they just did with Ninja, you're raising the skill floor in the most basic way possible. You're basically ensuring that the job is stronger regardless of the player. That is what a combo boost is.
Yeah.
I mean, but at one point, wasn't it though?
Wasn't it what?
Stronger.
It
Like,
was in
regardless of
Shadowbringers.
player.
Machinist was in a pretty okay spot. Like,
yeah,
it could have been.
yeah,
better,
that's what I'm saying.
But it was like you could play Machinist. Yeah, it was fine. Like all three of the
Yeah.
range were kind of in a weird spot in most of Shadowbringers. Like you got to remember, Shadowbringers was the first expansion where people looked at range physical and went, "Do we need you?"
1%.
1%, and you're like, I don't know if that's enough. And now there's no question about bringing it. It's just people only really consider one of them. The set
Yeah.
and the other two are comfort picks. So that's but Machinist should be one. Like if Black Mage can be number one on the final fight of the tier, Machinist should theoretically be doing way better. Like it's just it is that job. They either need to abandon Machinist being no utility, or they need to take it seriously.
I think the thing is, even base potency wise, like melee just has more potency than machinist. Any melee, like their 1, 2, 3s, just has more base potency in general.
Like Summoner shouldn't be stronger than Machinist, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I
And-
agree with that.
It is. And it was, and you know what? It's the top performing range physical right now. It's just, they just can't decide. They can't take Machinist seriously enough. It should be. I'll end up saying it a million fucking times. I just don't know why. I don't know why they won't do it. It doesn't
I
deserve
don't
to be
understand.
taxed.
I don't understand why Wildfire still cannot crit direct.
I don't know.
It's a bit weird. I think Machinist needs about maybe 4 or 5% buff
Yeah.
desperately.
It's
That
pretty
sounds
significant,
reasonable.
which is why I think
Yeah.
raising the combo is a good baseline. You can attribute 1 to 2% on that, and then you can try to contribute the rest of it to their burst windows.
Yeah, I think that'll be a pretty
One-
comfy.
One small change, I guess.
Yeah,
I feel like they should have hypercharged charges.
yeah. You want me to remind you what Yoshi P said when I asked that question?
Please,
Because
please.
I asked him, I asked him why don't Blood Weapon and Hypercharge? Like these are skills that people have been asking about. Let me see if I can find it. But essentially, the answer was that they didn't
Not
want
now.
every job to be the same, and also that they tested those abilities on like 150.
They didn't want every job to be the same, but
I mean, listen. They also said they tested those skills on 150 ping and didn't find any issues. I'm just saying that's what they said. I'm not saying that's what it should be. I'm saying that's what they said. I'm trying to find the interview
I don't-
itself. It's around here somewhere. I can't find it.
where was saying Stal?
I don't believe that they tested it on 150.
I don't either. I'm going to be completely honest.
Wasn't there like a question regarding ping stuff, and they're like, "Oh, ping is totally fine," and I'm just sitting here playing on 150 on EU, 180 on NA. I'm just like, what? 70 on JP. I just like, what the fuck?
I'm trying to.
I don't think
find
that's
this.
fine.
Let's see.
Although hypercharge charges would be so bad for me because I can't play Machinist for a long time. It hurts.
Yeah, I can imagine
Just
that
any-
there's really only 2 range phys. Well, 3 if you include Summoner. There's really only 2 or 3. Yeah. So.
Feels bad.
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding the exact one. I mean, I could just go to the video and find it, I suppose, but I can only find my one from April. I don't know why I can't find the other one. But yeah, essentially that's what it was. I asked that, and they gave those were the 2 like reasons that were given, was that they tested it on high ping and they didn't find any issues. And then that's where the packet loss memes came from, where they were like, "Oh, just you could be having some packet loss," and it's like, it's not what it is, Yoshi. That's That's not what it is. I promise you that is not the sole issue here. Oh man, that's a time. I miss Heavensward Machinist.
Oh, I like the reload,
Yeah,
the ammo.
yeah, I do. I mean, I like this Machinist a lot, but I'll stand Heavensward Machinist. I'll do it. I'll go back to
The ammo's
cast
really
bars.
fun.
Yeah, it made sense because you had cast bars without ammo, and then with ammo you had no cast bars. It was good.
I like Ball Mage too, though.
Oh,
I like the Ball Mage more than Gun Mage.
Bowmage was OP though, so it was literally the strongest the job has ever been. Actually, I think right now it might be the strongest. Well, I don't know because Bard was like fucking first. It was like if you had a good composition. If you did, I think Bard, Machinist, Dragoon, I guess Summoner. I think it was like the top DPS in the game.
But that was so late into Heavensward,
Yeah.
right? Now we're just starting, and Walker and Bar is already kind of crazy.
Oh, Ninja. Sorry, I forgot about Ninja. Right. Correct. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was that's right. Oh, that was the time. Oh, Machinist. That's when Machinist also had Hypercharge was a super trick attack that applied like every 3 seconds. I remember that. Those were the times. Those were the Machinist days. Now it's just question marks everywhere. The Queen.
I guess
too.
it.
Yeah.
At least it sounds good.
You know what really surprised me all the way going back to the Shadowbringers Media Tour? I made an assumption at the Shadowbringers Media Tour without confirming it. And I do mean Shadowbringers, not Endwalker. That the robot, its attacks are considered weapon skills, but they do not contribute to Wildfire.
Yeah.
I was surprised at that, and I still am to this day, because I want my robot to punch that explosive charge and make it stronger. I want it. Just
It makes sense.
no, it doesn't really, but I'll
It makes sense. You're talking to somebody who watches anime. This shit makes sense. Come on now.
Oh, you in all the animes where the robot starts punching the explosive and the explosion becomes stronger. Not to set off the explosion, to do that. I was actually more surprised that Wildfire, because Hypercharge is one thing, but Wildfire is also an issue because Hypercharge is an issue. I was surprised they didn't just make Wild Charge like a way longer duration, but after a set number of weapon skills, it detonates.
Yeah. It did make sense a little bit because they made so many changes like that, and then Machinist.
Yeah, Machinist feels now
complete
what Bard felt like in Shadowbringers, where it feels like somebody's who forgot how to quality of life the job. That's it. Like they've got the core design, its identity, fantastic. I will never argue that Bard's identity going from Stormblood to Shadowbringers, because it was just updated Stormblood Bard. Like it was essentially the same thing. It just didn't get quality of life, and that's Machinist
More like
right
Wars.
now. Yeah.
Got so bad. Fuck Shadowbringers.
But it was so good in T, Stal.
Yeah, I was all DPSing Summoners. It was crazy.
That surprises me. But I mean, Bard was really strong. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised with the 2-target, because their 2-target was just a couple Iron Jaws in there. And it was all the procs. Look at all these dot procs, Smile.
Look at all these Apex Arrow into 2 Jackdaws and
And
2
the boss.
bosses.
Yeah, they hit 4 targets with it. Yep.
So good.
Fucking Bard, man. Bard's just, how does Bard always do that? Bard is such a weird job, man. I don't know what to say about it. But Machinist, yeah, they could use a little bit of Jesus in their life. What?
Buff.
That sounds like some shit I would say, Happy.
I say that all the time. What do you mean? I say that on this show. How dare you assume I can't say things like that, Sly? Like I don't say them all the time, and I say them all the time. You need Jesus. Sly's just smiling and shaking his head. All right, so I think the answer with Machinist is it needs Jesus.
Yeah.
And then so now we can talk about Summoner. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's fine. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
should-
I almost was a summoner main at the start of this expansion. We were gonna have Whoops on range physical and me on summoner. We were gonna do double caster.
Oh shit!
As you can see, that didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Because we looked at how
Maybe
summoner
next
was doing in
time.
the first few weeks and went, maybe range physical's fine, right? Maybe I'll just play that. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Double caster. Yeah, I mean, you don't even need 2 addles anymore though, because feint is a half addle. It's fine.
Yeah,
You don't need the double addle. Now summoner's doing fine. Yeah, I could play it now, but it doesn't matter because then we would never range physical. So there you go. Can I just get the 1% for range physical on some? Come on, just give it to me. Just here's the thing. Okay, Square Enix. This is gonna sound crazy.
Oh boy.
Get rid of the 5% buff. Make it a 4%
Oh,
buff,
no.
and range magical and range physical share the 1%. Okay,
It's over, redoomed.
that's it. That's all I'm saying. So that way. Oh yeah, Stal's like yeah,
Double
well then-
really? Double caster?
double melee, double caster. Here we go.
Range who? Range what?
No, because here's the thing: if they do that, then the onus is on them to make all of the range physical stronger because they're sharing the 1%.
I don't really have faith after seeing Macchiato.
Listen, I'm trying to get you there. I'm taking systemic steps to getting you to this next point. Yeah, because then they just remove that tax, that range physical. I see. And you move it forward a little bit.
We might as well just remove the entire role. I think we can just get new jobs.
What are your new
Range is dead.
what new jobs do you want, Stall? What's all replacing the range physical role, Stall?
More melee chops.
So puppet
Just
master.
Oh god, stop it! Fucking stop, please.
There you go. Red mage, they just get rid of casting on it. They just make it a melee. There you go. I mean, it basically is now. So they've
You
already
should just
done
add-
it.
Just add cost bars to all the range and we're all casters now. That would work too.
Man, you shouldn't say that publicly.
Um,
You already said you
It was
liked
a
Heaven's
joke.
Word part. It was a mistake.
it was a joke.
She's not
I'm
joking.
sorry.
Don't let her forget. Don't let her forget. Okay. Overall, though, job balance has just been kind of wonky. So I guess I'm not really too surprised by this. It's been at such a point where they've made sure to say 6.08 is getting changes, but seriously, we're not done. Like they had to throw that disclaimer in there.
And thank God they threw that in. Like, yeah, we're not done. We know we'll try to do better, but
I just wonder what it actually ends up meaning, especially for
You
range
think
physical.
you think it'll last till like 0.3?
Now that you've asked, it will.
I feel like it will.
no.
Remember,
I
Monk
don't
got
think they'll
reworked in
fix it.
0.4 last expansion.
Yeah, like Band-Aid fix, right?
They basically said, okay, we're going to reduce you to your most basic elements, and then we'll rework you in 6.0. That was it. So, hypercharge. Yeah, you have cast times, and hypercharge just gets rid of your cast times. There you go.
Ooh.
There you go. See? We're already doing the rework live.
I wouldn't mind that.
Just don't get rid of drill or air anchor, please. We need to keep those.
Please.
Really.
Oh, I want chainsaw. It looks cool.
Yeah. Make it and then make it so every time we drill an air anchor and chainsaw, if the bot is out, it does bonus attacks. All right. So if our reopeners, the bot shoots a fucking drill arm out.
So it extends. Would it extend the timer though?
Yes.
Ooh.
More robot. Listen, if they can let red mages have like 60% melee uptime, we can have 60% robot uptime. Okay.
I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying.
That'll be sick.
And then the
I agree
level
with that.
100 capstone skill is you get in the robot, and now you fight as the robot. That's it. See? Rework done.
Gotta save some for 7.0.
Yeah, exactly. That's the 7.0. That's the level 100. There it is. Okay, that's it.
Oh, they should hire us. We'll fix ranged.
Stal.
Let's cast
Arthur's blames us for turning out the way it did in the first place. He was like, range physical people went. Look what happened.
Just an angry boomer.
Get fucked. All right. On that note, I think we've covered all the major points on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we can start wrapping up. So, Stal can begin her break proper. Stal decided.
Right.
Yeah. No, Stal, you have to. You said you were taking a break, not all right.
Taking a break? What the hell?
Yeah. Forgot.
I forgot.
Bad.
You do one podcast and you forget a whole ass goddamn break.
Oh man, I'm too into working. I like working. Keep forgetting that one.
Sly, don't look at me. Shut up.
No, I was about to say we're all the same.
Yeah.
We're all the same. We can't stop working. When we need to take like days off, we end up still doing busy work.
Yeah,
just shiny hunting Pokemon off stream. It really helps you stop working. I've got like
playing it.
I've got like 28 shinies right now, and I'm not done. I can't.
From Outbreak?
Yeah.
I haven't even seen an Outbreak yet.
He's been shiny hunting
how far are you
through
into
the
the
show.
game?
I'm at the start. I got the swimming.
Oh yeah, that's the third zone. Yeah, yeah. No, I have what do I have here? Let's see. Yeah, I've got why's my fucking drift? Bronzor, Skuntank, Blissey, Togekiss, Mamoswine, Staraptor, Chatot, Kameko, Sudowoodo, Gibble, Ambipom, Gudra, Bronzong, Machamp, Roserade, Basculin. Yeah, see, I got all. You just gotta go hunt. You gotta go shiny hunt, Stal.
Mm-hmm.
I want a shiny Umbreon.
He's been shiny hunting.
I just got an Eevee
show.
today. So you can see, there you go. You can get that. Get a shiny Umbreon. See? You can do it. You can hear the tap.
Stal, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you coming on before your break. We're sorry that we made you forget your break.
Sorry for making you forget.
Oh my God.
Stalala H2. I forgot Stalala H2.
Mm-hmm. Stal, where can everyone find you
after the break?
After the break, of course.
At twitch.tv/Stal, youtube.com/Stalala, and twitter.com/Stalala_. I think
it's like it's dude. That's like the 3 Pokemon evolutions right there. Stalala.
Should have kept Stalala on my Twitter.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's just the literal Pokemon evolutions of Stal.
Alolan Stalala.
Where's Mega Stalala, Gigantamax Stalala, and Alpha Stalala?
I know.
What the fuck?
Some artist get on it. Anyway,
right.
I want to see Alpha. Stal.
What are you doing?
I want to see Alpha Stal on Twitter by day's end. The red eyes and the giant Lalafell.
Stal, what are you doing once you get back from the break?
Oh no, I haven't thought that far. 14? I kept homes.
Kept homes.
I forgot
That's
I
like
kept
a
homes
day.
this week.
That's like a day.
No, when you get back from the break, you can do that off stream. You don't need to stream.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
FF10. I haven't played FF10.
There you go.
Good
Yeah,
choice.
I'm gonna finish FF10. Can't believe I'm actually gonna finish the game.
Any interest in 6-Pixel Remaster, Horizon, Strangers of Paradise, Chocobo GP? Those are all in the next month or so.
Elden Ring, Monarch.
I wanna play Chocobo GP.
It has a story mode and a 64 tournament mode.
I want to play that. I want to play the story mode thing. I'm actually really curious about that. Elden Ring sounds pretty good too.
Midna and
maybe the new voice of cards.
We're gonna invite you.
Oh no, I'm terrible. I haven't played Mario Kart.
That's
I don't
okay.
even know how to
I
play
haven't
that.
played it in ages. Sly's probably the most experienced Mario Karter here.
I don't think I've ever played Mario Kart.
It's okay. This isn't Mario Kart. It's Chocobo.
Oh,
It's very different. Sly, you're invited to the tournament too, obviously.
Pass.
You can't.
What?
He can't. You owe me. You owe me.
Pass.
Nope. But yeah, Stal, thank you for agreeing to come on. I'm glad we were able to make it happen. Have a fun little discussion.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank
No,
you.
no, you.
You.
No, you.
You. Thank you.
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 Thanks.
You.
It's 2022 and you just did a soldier. All right. Anyway. Sly, where can they find you at?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Sly, aka Great Fox, Twitter at Sly the Fox. Really, I mean, I'm still doing 14 stuff. Still working through like raid every Sunday. In the meantime, de-rusting for GT7. GT7 is soon, very soon, March 4th. Which is the same day as Triangle Strategy, so that sucks for me. But still, I'll be fine. What else is coming up soon? Monarch, which again, if you have not played the Monarch demo, I highly implore you go play that demo. It is so good. It is made from some of the old Atlas devs who worked on If and older Megaton entries. So it was really good. So please go play it. Of course, Elden Ring. I got like these are the hell months. Monarch, Elden Ring, straight into GT7, and I'm just losing my shit in GT7. Of course, tomorrow is February 5th. That means it is a first Saturday, and if you're on Primal, you are cordially invited. It's our first Saturday of Endwalker, so definitely come out if you are on Primal. Love to see you. Would love to have you. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm up to. Happy. What's going on in SMT for kids?
It's not, dude. I had to beat God. It's not.
That's why I say it's
no. It's God. God
Kids.
is. I beat him.
Great. Congratulations. That's like a Tuesday for us in SMT.
Well, it was fun because I beat him on Tuesday.
Great. Wednesday we go take down Satan. Yay!
Actually, in this game, you beat Satan before God. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Satan before God, technically.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, hi, I'm Mr. Happy. I've been not posting too much YouTube content as of late because I've just been chilling off stream, taking care of some stuff. And Pokemon Shiny Hunting, Lost Ark is coming up. I'll be playing on US West with Whoops because we don't want to deal with the disaster that's going to be US East queues because everybody's apparently going there. So I'd rather play the game than not, personally. So that's that plan. Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster is supposed to come out at some point this month. Rumor is the middle, about 16th or 18th. I also found out there's a Pokemon tournament on February 18th on Sword and Shield, and it comes with a shiny Galarian Articuno. So I kind of want to do that as well. So that might be a little bit of fun. What else is there that's coming out? Elden Ring, there's this month. Then we have Chocobo GP next month, Strangers of Paradise next month, Triangle Strategy next month. And I know I'm still forgetting something. There's still something else that's slipping.
Gran Turismo 7.
Like I said, so I'm playing the Superior Racing game next month. No, I said Lost Ark already.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Chocobo GP's better. Anyway, I'm gonna get a wheel to play Chocobo GP just to piss you off. Now that you said that, I'm getting a fucking wheel and a pedal and everything. I'm doing it. I'm buying it right now. I'm doing it. Let's go. Anyway, I said Triangle Strategy. I don't know. I feel like there's still something else I'm forgetting. But yeah, there's a lot of games coming up. So I'm ready. Let's see. Gaming wheel. Here we go. All right. Anyway. Yeah, that's fine. No, not Rune Factory 5. But that's also going to be good. Babylon's Fall also out in March. Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
right. Rune Factory.
Yeah, Rune Factory. Yeah, that's soon. I know you're.
There's a new Voice of Cards game, too.
Ghostwire. Oh, fuck.
Ghostwire. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
The
there's
hell
things to
months
play.
have begun.
Forspoken's in May. I don't have to worry about Forspoken for a few more months. So that's fine. Oh, and then 5.4 should be probably early April. So.
Oh.
And Ultimate with it. Ultimate a couple weeks after. So. Good times. Anyway, that's what I got coming up. So with that, we're going to go to a short post show where we're just going to talk for a few minutes and then go our separate ways. So Stal can break, I can eat, and Sly can do whatever he's doing. I'm assuming streaming afterwards. There you go. And that's going to be the plan. So thanks everyone for coming by. Thank you again, Stal, for making time during your break.
Thank you.
In order to come on the show. And everyone, we'll see you next week. I'm hoping that's going to be the tank show next week. If not, I will see if I can make it the melee or the caster show because we are doing one of all of them.
You already got people?
I know I have people for the tank show, but I need to make sure the schedule works. For the other two, I know who to reach out to. I know who I'm going to ask.
Okay.
So, okay. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming by. We'll see you next week, hopefully. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.